Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to listen up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Thank you, KK Arnold. It's Phil and Rye on Listen Up. Rye, Thanksgiving over, officially over. As we turn the book, we are advancing past the Thanksgiving break, and the UConn Huskies season resumes against Xavier. And you told me they begin conference play. Now, Rye, we'll say predictions, score predictions last, like always. We will get down into comments, like always. I had to tell you, that number just went up even more. It's at 3.34 thousand subs.
Yeah, it keeps going up, and obviously that's all thanks to you guys. So again, I appreciate the support. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and we're gonna keep on grinding out these videos as UConn comes back now from that Thanksgiving break. So again, thank you guys so much.
All right, right. So this game features now, again, no disrespect, it features probably one of the worst teams in this conference in women's basketball overall. Xavier has suffered, many years in conference play. What do you expect out of this game? The keys to success, and just give me a little taste about now. Of course, it's broken up. This is not just conference play from here on out. No, they have some more talented teams, if you will, coming our way in the near future. But what are you looking for out of these games? Because we talked about it, Xavier, that is, in these expected quote unquote blowout games. They are important. You told me, Phil, they are important. Stop talking like that, Phil. You told me that. Hey, I love it, Rye, when you get mean like that. But I'll tell you this right now, it's important. And you bring up a good point because every year we talk about it. I can't wait to see the roster breakdown, what you have to tell me. But more importantly for UConn, because players that we normally don't see play a whole lot, are these the games? Hey, you're saying, hey, her and her and her, they have to show me something right now.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely still got a couple big games like USC and Iowa after this Big East showdown,
Mm,
but obviously this is the first Big East game on the schedule. Yeah, I
mm,
think there's going to be probably a lot of bench minutes in this game, but
yeah.
obviously UConn coming off that week-long Thanksgiving break to take
Mm.
on Xavier. It's actually the first time the Huskies will play outside of the state of Connecticut this year, so technically their first away game of the season playing in an arena outside of Connecticut. But Xavier 4-2 on the season. This is a team that lost 8 players from last year's roster, 3 players that graduated, and 5 players who hit the transfer portal. So we talk about these teams, the transfer portal being a big positive for teams being able to get players from other schools, but obviously it can also affect them pretty negatively too in terms of losing a lot of players. But they were able to get 4 players to sign in the transfer portal and 4 freshman recruits from high school to make up for those loss of players. The biggest among those all-season additions for Xavier was Mariah Noel from Ole Miss, who's averaged 18 points per game so far this year, which is pretty good. The senior forward Savannah White from Indiana State has also been a good pickup as well. But the problem for the Musketeers is I don't think they will be able to keep up with UConn, keep up with their pace. Most of these Big East games they're never really that close. The Huskies might
Mm-mm.
have one close Big East game each season, but with UConn getting that well-deserved week's rest, I think they're
Yeah.
going to come out fast in this game with a lot of energy, and I think this may get out of hand fairly quickly, and I hope we see a lot of bench players. I think Gino is still trying to figure out what different lineups he trusts, so I think the starters may be pulled by the fourth quarter, and we see a lot of minutes from the bench players in this game.
That's a very good point that you bring up, Rob. We're going to go over to comments and then we're getting right down into score predictions, moving right along on this beautiful Friday morning. Black Friday is what they call it, right? So let me know if you have any deals on tap for great UConn Huskies gear. I'm sure we could all use some great UConn Huskies gear, some nice discounts. We'll go over to Just Me. They came through very well again We love you all a lot. Just me said, thanks, Phil and Rye, for the update on the new recruit, Jovana Popovich. With the great recruiting UConn is doing, I wonder how much longer Gino's CD will go. Happy Thanksgiving to Phil and Rye and all the great listen up subs. Go Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, with Gino and CD, it's really hard to tell how much farther they will go. I believe Gino has 3 years left on his contract that he signed. I believe he signed a 5-year deal, so he either has 2 or 3 more years remaining. So obviously, I'd assume that they both came in together 41 years ago now. So I would think they're both gonna exit together and retire into the sunset. But I honestly don't know how much longer Gino's going to be doing this, but I think him and CD are still having a blast out there.
Roberto Sanchez. We need Jersey. She's 6'1". You put her together with Sarah, Blanca, and Vukosa, and that's a huge lineup. Who's going to match that?
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be great to fill out the roster, the 15th spot for next season's team with Jersey Robinson, and obviously, possibly there's a couple players on this roster that could hit the transfer portal for next season. So possibly getting Jersey Robinson wouldn't actually fill out the whole entire team. Obviously, we never know what's going to happen for next season, but I think getting Jersey in the recruiting class would be a huge pickup for the team.
Yeah, Bobby Nicholson or I also said, what's going on with Jersey? Come on, Jersey, come sign with UConn. How about one more? We'll go over to well, how about Grobel? We read his comments off the air, but how about only Grobel? We appreciate it a lot. UConn has one scholarship remaining technically, known prospects for 26, offered a number one ranked Jersey Robinson. We just talked about her, right? Shown interest, but not confirmed of an offer, but she likely has one to Alicia Tornby, 6'4" forward from France. And then he says, I expect some transfers out, as there are people that have buried deep on the bench for several years. They are never going to see significant minutes. Last year, Samuels made that determination. Now she is starting and playing 25 plus minutes per game at NCST. So thank you for that update, Rye, because we always love to hear what's going on with our former Huskies now that they're not with us anymore. And we always wish them the best and much love to them. But I'll read you this one as well, Rye, because Michael Eady's comment goes well with that one. He says, transfer portal, Ice Brady, maybe one more. And it's interesting because I thought that, talk about future episodes all the time. We're always in fear of running out of stuff to talk about. But that's interesting because, hey, I can't wait to talk about. Now, I don't want to see any of our Huskies go, but Rye, it's almost like you can't avoid it. They're all so talented. Unfortunately, I think that we'll be losing some Huskies pretty soon.
Yeah, I think Ice Brady is probably the most likely name as she hasn't really played much this year. Had a good year last year, but I just think because of the depth that's on this team at the forward position, of course she will be a redshirt senior next year, so it would technically be her last year of eligibility, I believe. So it would make sense for Ice to hit the transfer portal and possibly find another team that she can start with, like they brought up Caden Samuels, who seems to be doing pretty good with NC State. So I'm happy for her that she's getting the minutes that she rightfully deserves, that she was a very talented player. So I don't blame these girls at all if they hit the transfer portal and find a team that they fit in well with, that they can be starting at, because obviously the depth, for future years to come on this UConn team, it looks to be very loaded.
All right, partner, are you ready?
Yeah, prediction time.
FS1, November 30th. So that's Sunday, right? At 2:30. Now we have to warn everybody. You made the agreement with me, and I appreciate it a lot. You'll be out of town, but you and your confident self, we all appreciate Rye. You said you would take it on your shoulders to record a very late and moving into early morning Monday podcast that we will all enjoy. So we can't wait to hear your take. but you will be on the game recap very late, early into Monday morning. Who do you have, Rye? Who wins this one? The score from the Cintas Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, UConn and Xavier.
Yeah, I just can't see this game being close. I think UConn should dominate it the whole way through. I think probably in the first quarter it gets a little out of hand. So I'll say UConn 88, Xavier 48 in this one.
All right, Rye. I'm going UConn all over. UConn all over Xavier. Final score. We'll go 95 to 45 in this one. 95 to 45. And look for, you said it, a lot of bench playing time from the backups. We can't wait. We all know that you can't wait. And Rye, good luck on a late Sunday. And I will see you for another last check in. Phil and Rye on Listen Up.